Real Country 1430 AM and 1073 FM WRDN. I'm Brian Winnikins. This is the WRDN Morning Farm Reports. And joining us this morning is Jeff Lyon. He is General Manager with Farm First Dairy Cooperative. And today we're going to talk about a proposal from Farm First on the federal milk marketing order. Thank you to our newsmaker sponsors, including Compeer Financial, the Animal Wellness Center of Buffalo Valley, Anibis Silo, Osteoplastics, Synergy Co-op, A&J Agronomy, and Wisconsin Farmers Union. Jeff, thanks for joining us today. Well, the proposal from Farm First with the federal milk market order is to kind of go back in time, it sounds like.
Yes, a little bit. We analyzed and looked at other proposals that are out there, and just we kind of went back and looked at it, that we've had a proposal that when there was one of the last large reviews and of the federal orders was done back in the late 90s, approved in 1999, where they looked at a whole lot of different things. And we put the higher of over the class 3 or the class 4 price. And we just think that that's worked well over time. I mean, the last change was a legislative change in the 2018 Farm Bill. And the one back in 1999 had support of the industry. It's worked well. Is it perfect? Probably not, but we think it's worked well. And if USDA decides to have a hearing on the class 1 mover issue, we want to have that proposal as part of the discussion too.
Jeff, there was the proposal by National Milk, and then the other proposal that's come out from Dairy Business Association and the Minnesota Milk and those groups. Right. What were some of the reasons why Farm First decided to say, we think we should maybe go back in time here a little bit?
Well, as I said, I think we just looked at the merits of like I said, the higher of has worked. Do some quick analysis on it. Like I said, different times, different marketing years, class 3 and class, has been higher than class 1, even using the higher up. So there were some periods, negative PPDs, and none of the proposals that are out there right now that I'm aware of right now, are going to completely eliminate the negative PPDs. It's just the fact of the matter and the way marketing of milk is going, and the fact that you're going to have, the volatility, quite honestly, in class 3 is, part of the reason for that. And we looked at it. A lot of them have little different layers and different things like that. And we just think that this proposal, in reverting back, it's just a clean, simple way to do it. We just have less layers on it. And like I said, very easily understood too.
Talking with Jeff Lyon this morning, General Manager of Farm First Dairy Cooperative, talking about a proposal on the federal milk marketing order from Farm First. Jeff, the higher of class 3 or class 4, that had been used, like you said, from the 90s, but then it's kind of being used, but it's not since the 2018 Farm Bill. Is that where everything went wrong when they made that change in 2018?
Well, there's lots of different things that probably happened. Obviously, no one was expecting the COVID-19 pandemic and those kinds of things. But in the Farm Bill, the change was made instead of going with the higher of class 3 or 4, it's a simple average of the two prices. And what happened in this past year is we got an incredibly large spread between the class 3 price, which is for cheese, and class 4 in powder, that kind of thing. So with that large spread, that's what caused a lot of the issues and the problems, with the way that the formula works right now. When the spread would be, the price difference between the two, class 3 and class 4, is much narrower, then you don't have the issues we had. But that was the reason and the cause for it, so, primarily. Jeff, and then the high prices that we saw on class 3 and cheese prices, in the summertime, went up real fast, real quickly.
Jeff, you had mentioned that the PPDs were actually around even before last year at the pandemic. It's just they weren't as bad or severe as what we saw last year. Because really, last year was the first time I'd even heard of such a thing.
You and a lot of other people, Brian, and over the years, there'd been negative PPDs, but they were much smaller. You might just have a few cents, less than $1, those kinds of things. And last year, when the pandemic hit, we had the really low prices there in April, May, and then the cheese price just shot up. I mean, in 6 weeks' time, it just rocketed high. And in that short time period, the way the pricing system goes, I know there's a bit of a lag in some of the announced prices, advanced prices, those kinds of things. And that's what caused, a lot of the problems initially. And then over time, it's been more. So the prices of cheese have gone down a little bit, but the bigger issue now is the spread. So yeah, that's part of the issue, Ben.
Jeff, when you did your analysis of not only the other proposals, but then your own proposal, did you look at what that negative PPD would have been last year had we still been using just the higher of class 3 or 4?
Yeah, just talked to various people and that had them run some numbers for me. And I just did a quick analysis here. And, if there's a hearing and we, get into it more and our proposals, for part of the discussion, we'll get into it much deeper. But for our purposes in looking at it, the under the using the higher of would have performed better than the actual PPD hit did here since May 19th. May 19th, not 19th, May of 2019 was when the current formula went in place. And overall, it would have been better. There's months where the actual PPD was better than higher of, but overall, since May 2019, it has been better, performed better. So that's one of the other reasons we looked at it, and we looked at other numbers and what they're trying to do on some of the other proposals. And I'm guessing, right now there's 2 or 3 proposals out there but I'm guessing around the country there'll be other people with other ideas too.
Talking with Jeff Lyon, he's general manager of Farm First Dairy Cooperative, about a proposal from Farm First for changing the federal milk market orders. Jeff, while you're talking about the higher of class 3 or 4, did you also look at some of these other issues like pooling and depooling and all those other surrounding issues that are kind of on the outside that people have talked about over the years, but really haven't done anything about?
Oh yeah, we've looked at all the different issues and need to be clear, Brian, on our proposal. This, we introduced it or try to get it to be part of the hearing process if the USDA decides that they want to conduct a hearing on the narrow focus of the class 1 mover issue. If USDA decides not to do that, not have a hearing or whatever, then all the different issues would come up. So it's really up to USDA to decide whether there's going to be the narrow focus on it. And the way the hearing process goes, if it's they say, yeah, we're going to do a hearing and it's going to be narrowly focused, then some of those other issues can't be part of it. And that's part of what we wanted to do, to make sure that if USDA does a hearing and it's going to be narrowly focused, that we have a proposal out there that we can have as part of the discussion. And who knows what, there'll be other proposals and it could be a mix and match of everything to see what might be best.
Finally, Jeff, I guess we have multiple proposals. There's, everyone does say we got to look at some type of reform. Would it almost just serve everyone the best to say, you know what? No one understands how this works, even USDA. Can we just start over with a blank chalkboard and let's go from there?
Well, I guess there's, we've talked before many times, and both of us been at this a long time. And, some days you think, yeah, maybe we should do that. I don't think that's going to happen because everybody, it's the process of looking what you already have and then making changes as, markets change and do those kinds of things. So I would guess, I think I said, the biggest thing will be is whether they're going to, USDA will, have the hearing on that, or if they're going to say, let's just, do all the issues, that kind of thing. And like I said, that's really their call. We just want to be ready to have something. And if it goes to, if it doesn't happen where we have the emergency hearing, those kinds of things, we'll be ready with our partners to provide and be ready to address all the other issues that are out there.
That's Jeff Lyon. He is general manager of the Farm First Dairy Cooperative. You're listening to the WRDN Morning Farm Report.